Do you want to discover more joy, peace, and freedom with food exercising your body? Here we bring a compassionate, holistic, and sustainable approach to fitness so you can fully enjoy the life you want and express your unique self with the world. I'm Michelle Roscoe, and I want to help you find fitness freedom. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, welcome to the Fitness Freedom Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about dragon energy and getting a little more personal than I usually am because this week I celebrate my birthday. And this past year, I have learned so many big lessons, and I want to share some of them with you in the hopes that they can perhaps help you along your journey as well. And I get it. Sometimes I listen to podcasts and they talk about their personal lives. I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. Pause, leave. So if that's you, I completely get it. That's okay. You don't have to listen to me. You're never obliged to listen to me. But I do want to share, and this is my podcast, so I'm going to do that. I am celebrating my birthday this week, and I am the year of the dragon. And this year was the year of the dragon, and it has been an incredible, huge growth year for me. And in Korea, if you meet someone new and you're not sure of their age, because age is important in Korea in terms of how you address someone, how you speak. Korean uses honorifics, so you have to know someone's age so you know how to address them more appropriately. You might ask in Korea, what is your sign? Tika 뭐예요? And you can determine based on what animal they are, what year they were born, and roughly estimate their age and how old they are in relation to you, because the animals come around every 12 years, right? So it'll either be 12 years off or accurate. Unlikely to be 24 years off, probably. So you can guess how old I am. I'm either 0, 12, 24, 36, 48, or 60 this year, or 72. I mean, I could be 72 if you want to believe that. And I don't really care about you knowing my age. I just think it's more fun to tease it out that way. So I learned some big lessons, and I think that I tapped into some dragon energy, and I'm going to share with you what that is. I got my fourth tattoo this year on the spur of the moment in Thailand. At the beginning of this year, I was like, hey, I want to get a tattoo. So I found a guy and we collaborated together. And the night before I flew back to the States, I got a nice dragon tattoo on my leg to celebrate the year of the dragon. And woo, it's been a good one. So this year it started with a sabbatical that I took with my girlfriend. That was one of the reasons that we went on our first coffee meetup. She was planning to travel on sabbatical, and she mentioned Thailand, and I said, hey, I've been to Thailand a few times, and that's one way she got me to come out, was to talk about travel. She obviously understood me in some level, even in the beginning. So I talked about travel, and it so happened that 6 months later, we ended up taking this trip together and added Korea and Japan. Not without influence from me, because I told her Korea was one of the best countries in Asia, and really, I think it's one of the best countries in the world to visit. And she might agree at this point as well. So we took this trip. It was a month long. Over January, that's how the year started. We visited Japan, Korea, Laos, and Thailand. And on that trip, I was open to whatever might happen. It was the first time I had taken such a long break in, I don't know, I think maybe my whole life. One of the longest trips I've ever taken in my life. The longest vacations I've taken in my life. And especially since starting my business. So I was a little uncertain, a little bit hesitant. I planned to do a little bit of work, but not much. And in that time of my business, I was feeling really stuck. I was feeling like my engine was revving, it was turning, but I wasn't getting anywhere. I was feeling frustrated. I was having a lot of doubts about whether I should continue my work and how that might look. And I really opened myself to whatever possibilities would be on the other side. Having traveled before, and if you've traveled, you know this, travel is such a wonderful way to expand your mind, to feed your spirit, to see other perspectives, to get a break from the norm. And when you do get that break from the norm, you often have revelations, you see things from a new light, and it helps inform your quote unquote regular life. So I knew that was a possibility on this trip. So I completely let go. I said, hey, if this isn't right for me, if I'm meant to pivot, if it's best for me and for everyone to not hold on to my business, I'm willing to do that. And, the part of me that was proud was like, oh, I should just be able to push through anything, and I should be able to work hard and have this grit. And while that was an active voice in my brain, I could have enough distance between it to recognize that maybe this is not the best. So I opened myself to all possibilities, and I took with me my regular morning routine. I wake up at 4:56 every morning. I might have missed a couple mornings sleeping in, but that's all right. And I wake up, I move, I meditate, I practice gratitude. And on this trip, especially after I got a new journal in Japan, I journaled every morning. And I was asking myself some hard stuff, like, what do you really want? What do you want with your life? Like, why are you here? Like, what does your business mean to you? What are you making it mean? What is truly important to you? What kind of life do you want to live? And I sometimes would get answers and clarity, and sometimes I wouldn't. In conjunction with these habits, I was listening to three books that really impacted me, that changed my life, I would say, to use that phrase. One book was Rest is Resistance by Tricia Hersey. And if you follow the Nap Ministry on Instagram, that's the author. And she talks about the importance of rest as resistance against a capitalistic culture that is all about productivity. And it's a beautiful book, especially written by a Black woman. I have so much respect for her. That really shaped my ideas around rest and my worth as a human being. And I listened to the 40-Day Prosperity Plan. I don't remember the guy's name, but it was suggested in a business podcast episode. And I dedicated myself to writing every morning. There's 10 different days and different sentences and ideas around abundance and prosperity and source and provision. And that really shaped me and my ideas around what provision comes from. It's not from money, it's something bigger than that. And I also listened to Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. I remember running on the beach of Thailand and listening to Buddhist lore around sitting with your demons and just accepting yourself. So all of these books really shaped my vacation, my outlook, my rest. And I remember one night when I was out late in Korea, I got a text from a client, and I really considered, maybe this is it. I'm just going to have to stop all my subscriptions. I'm going to have to figure out how do you shut down a business. I'm going to have to pivot. Like I was really willing to let it all go. And it wasn't until my trip back home, it was a long trip. We took almost every mode of transportation possible on that trip: boat, bus, train, plane, bus, all that stuff. Oh, taxi, Uber. And it wasn't until that last trip that I received what feels like a beautiful gift from the universe. And I spent most of that flight typing in notes for the 4-H method. It was a framework that I had already created, and I have a podcast episode about all of that. You can search up, I think, the 4-H method, what it is and how it works. if you're curious. But I spent that flight typing in all of this information of ideas and how I wanted this to be structured. And I had created this framework and used it before, but not as much centered on the hope part, which is you are already 100% worthy and powerful. And this time I incorporated rest into the program. So after I got off the flight, I pretty much the next morning started typing down, writing out how this would work. I started creating a program in my training software. I have a personal training software where I work with my clients through. It's my own app and membership site, and it's a great way to structure what I do. So I spent the next couple of months preparing it and creating it. And it felt like everything was just like coming to me, and I was typing it down. I was brainstorming. It felt so alive. Nothing about it was forced. Nothing about it felt difficult. It felt like there was a tsunami or like a waterfall coming through me, and I just had to let it out. And I know that's not always the case, and that's okay. You don't have to wait for this to happen, but I know that the rest that I took and that letting go, that attitude of I'm open to anything. This is what I would like. Of course, I wanted my business to go where I wanted it to go. Of course, I wanted to be quote unquote successful in my business, but I was willing to let it all go. And that energy, I will call it dragon energy, of knowing what you want and wanting it so badly, but also being willing to let it go. And I think that's the energy that allowed me to receive this new thing that was so much better than I could have figured out by sitting down and trying to strategize and plan what my next business step would be. So I created it. I did it myself when I launched it, and I've had several heroes join, and it's been incredible, and I've gotten such good feedback, and I know it's something beautiful. It's the only program that I've created and the only thing that I've done in my career that feels like I'm interacting with something that's beautiful and alive, that feels like such a safe, magical, beautiful, alive place to be. And this is me coming at it from someone who's created it, who also participates in it and does it daily. And yes, I'm so excited for it to grow. So that's the dragon energy that allowed me space to create something that is so beautiful that I feel like is my dream now. And maybe you have a dream in your life that feels unrealistic, that maybe you're not even sure what you want. And I will say that that's why rest is so powerful. For you being clear, listening to yourself is so powerful. And that's what I teach in the 4-H method as the foundation for your health and your fitness. So, I mean, if you're wanting to get clear on what you want, that's a great place to start for your life. And then using health and fitness as a way to enhance the life that you want. Not as the main goal, but as a means to living the life that you want and expressing yourself with the world, because the world needs you and it needs you most alive. But since then, I've had a lot of doubts, and I kind of want to talk with you about those things and then get into some other things as well. But with my dreams, there have been times where I'm so sure that this is what I want, and there's like no denying it. There's like 0% room for doubt. And I wake up and I feel so confident. I'm like, this is it. This is it. Okay, what do I need to do? I'm going to push through. I'm going to make this. I'm going to create this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to learn this. And there's some times where I'm like bulldozing energy. Yes, this is what I want. And then there are some times where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. Who do I think I am to think that I could create this and I could achieve my dreams and what I want with it and make this something that works? And I think the more I tap into that, you know what? If this is not it, that's okay. I don't need this to be fulfilled. I don't need this to be whole. I'm already okay as I am. And if the best decision for me is to let it go, I'm willing to do that. And every time I do that and I practice that letting go, I let it go. I refresh myself. I connect with myself and who I am, apart from, the identity of successful business owner, successful coach, or successful human being, whatever. And then when I'm in that space of letting go, it comes back to me and I get clarity and I feel more certain on what the next best step is. So I continue to practice this dragon energy, is what I'm calling it. And something that has really helped me is like I said, is my journaling and my quietness with myself. And again, rest is the foundation for health. Rest is the foundation. Oh, it's so powerful. And a part of rest is listening and stillness and silence. And I will say that not in this past year, it was before this, I would say 2 years ago is when I really started to tap into connecting with, how do I say this without, actually, you know what? If you are put off by this, you're probably not in the right place anyway. So the spirit world and my guides and even ancestors and my heart, even just my heart, listening to my heart and what it says and receiving guidance from beyond myself. And I grew up really religious, so I know and understand how hearing that might feel a little bit like, I don't like that, or it might feel a little uncomfortable. I get that. If it's not comfortable for you, don't worry about it. I'm not trying to push anything down your throat, but I'm just saying what my experience has been. And my practice of journaling, and what I will do is I will sit down, and again, this is personal, but I will sit down what I did while I was on sabbatical and what I did a lot in the mornings, especially, it's funny because it would be usually in the bathrooms, like hotel bathrooms, because my girlfriend would be sleeping. So I'd wake up and I would have a little light from my phone, or maybe a light in the bathroom. I didn't want to completely shock my senses. And so when I think about this, I have the image of cold bathroom floors or hard surfaces, maybe with a towel underneath, and me writing things down to the light of a phone. But what I'll do is I'll write either in the morning, usually lately now, it's not right when I get up, but I'll write and I'll just ask questions and I'll have conversations with what I feel is my higher self, and I'll ask questions and I'll get answers. And this has been so helpful for me in taking the next step and feeling supported. I feel like I'm always led. If I listen to my gut and I listen to my intuition, I'm always led to the best resources, and there's an attitude of staying open and suspending my own assumptions. So this has been super helpful for me, and it does take practice. There's times where I write things and I don't feel like I have answers, and I just have to practice trusting and letting go over and over again. But the more that I do this letting go, the more clear I am on what I really desire and what I really want to grow. And I feel like it's been so laser focused this year. And even this month, I've been practicing a lot of meditations and habits that I know support me, like drinking enough water or spending time outside, making sure that I spend time for quiet, making a lot of time prioritizing pleasure and things that make me feel good in my body. And I've been so clear on what I want in my dreams and where I want to be and what the impact I want to have, and the wealth I want to have, the lifestyle I want to have, who I want to be. And something that has really helped with my dreams is having this energy of already being there and knowing that it's happening. Like, I constantly get confirmation that it's happening. What I want is happening. I'm already there in some ways. And being the person who's already there with gratitude. Gratitude is such a powerful emotion and expression of your worth and your power. And then taking the next step, whatever is the next step, whatever comes to me. Of course, I like to plan and I like to have ideas, but I've also learned that it's kind of like traveling. Have you ever made a really, really detailed itinerary for a trip and then you realize with frustration that it doesn't work? I remember when I went to Taiwan, I had all of these lists, like these places that I wanted to visit to eat food in, because food is a very important part of my travel. And most of them were closed because it was the Chinese New Year, and I was so frustrated, and it just felt like things weren't working. And then I've taken trips where I feel like, okay, this is something I would like, but if it doesn't happen, I'm open to it, and there will be something better. And so I just kind of follow, like, oh, this worked and then this worked. Have you ever had those days or those trips where it's just like this thing flows into the next thing, and then you get advice from this person and it takes you here, and then you discover something new, and it's not really what your trip was supposed to be, but it ends up being so good? That's what I feel like I'm practicing, just taking the next step. Of course, I have these goals and I don't know exactly how they're going to happen, but I'm willing to just take the next step. And always with my dreams, I try to practice, or I intentionally practice this dragon energy of letting go. So of course I want to be where I want to be. Of course I want my dreams to come true, my desires to be realized in my life. But at the same time, I'm always willing, I practice being willing to let them go, because those things aren't the things that define my worth or even define who I am or make me any more worthy or prove my power or my enoughness or my value. And so there's this continual, I want this, and it would be so amazing to have this, and I'm so excited for this to happen because I know that I do in some ways get what I want. But then there's this other energy of, and if it doesn't happen, it's okay. And that's, I believe, the most powerful dragon energy that you could have. The most powerful energy. You want it, and you know that you can have it, and you deserve it. And at the same time, you're willing to let it go because you're open to possibilities. And it requires trust that there are potentially other things that are even better for you. And I think that when you let go of that stubbornness of like, no, this must happen, I need this to happen in order to feel good about myself and to be okay, there's this allowing for space when you can let go and say, no, I don't need this to be okay. I know that I'm okay in myself, and I'm worthy already, and I'm valuable already, and I don't need to do anything to prove it. I don't need anything outside of me to make this more true in my life. I'm already here. I'm already there. I'm already arrived. How wonderful. And then you can allow space for what is best for you to happen. And one way that I've seen that, and I want to highlight in this year, is with my partner, with my girlfriend. We met last year, and we've been together over a year now, and I feel a little more protective of this because it is super personal, but I never knew that I could have such a wonderful partner. Before in relationships, and this is saying nothing, I'm not speaking to the character of my previous partners, but in past relationships, I would feel like I was not enough, or I was too much, or I would be asking too much, that my needs were too much, and I felt like the things that I really wanted in a relationship, I couldn't have. And it was because I was just too needy, and it was impossible to have what I really wanted. And now with Kaylee, with my girlfriend, I know that's not true. And it took dragon energy to get here, honestly. I had to let go of what felt like good, but not what I really deserved or wanted. And it was so difficult because it's hard to let go of people and places that you love and you care about. But I had to let go of those things to make way to create space for what I really wanted. And I feel so grateful every day and pretty much in awe every day that I have such a wonderful partner and that I am loved in the way that I want to be loved. And I get to love someone in the way that brings me joy as well. That's dragon energy there. Another way that I've had to practice dragon energy, and I want to say thank you to Simone Soul. If you are a human or a business person especially, I encourage you to follow her. And I admire her a lot, and I've learned a lot from her. And I took one of her courses this year, and what she really taught me, and something that I'm continually practicing, is, and it's funny because this is like parallel with all these things in my life, with my business, with my relationships, like romantic relationships, and then also in business and connection, because business is all about relationships, right? It's all about connections and providing value for people in exchange for some other thing, whether it's attention or money or time. And yeah, so something I really learned from her, and I'm seeing this theme, is speaking to my people and not chasing those who are not meant for me. So again, this is vulnerable, but as a business owner, at least for me, this is maybe not every business owner's experience, but there is a measure of having to put yourself out there and make offers, and sometimes feel stupid, like, hey, do you want this? And getting rejected. No, I don't want this. No. People ghost you. People don't respond to you. And people unsubscribe, people unfollow, people say things, all, and then there's beautiful things in it, but I'm just highlighting the fact that when you put yourself out there, and maybe it's not just if you're a business owner, maybe you're an artist or a writer or a creator of some fashion, where you kind of expose yourself to the world and you open yourself to rejection. And what I've learned from Simone and in my life is to stop. Like, I have to learn this, and I have to be like, oh, Michelle, there's the lesson again. Like, just stop chasing people who are not all about you. Stop trying to speak to people who are not your people. Like, I don't want to be liked. And let's just take the dating analogy, which is so great. I don't want to be liked by every single person. There are some creeps out there. I don't want your attention on me. I don't want you to like me. Like, just stay in your lane. There's someone else for you. That kind of, I don't need everyone to like me. I don't need everyone to resonate with my business. I don't need everyone to resonate with my work. And I'm not speaking to you. If you're listening to this, you're the person I'm speaking to. If you've already, stopped listening to this episode, you're not hearing this, and I'm not speaking to you because you weren't interested, and that's okay. But speaking to my people, and I find myself often in this, and maybe you can relate. I think it has to do with childhood, blah, 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 all that stuff. We won't get into that. But I find myself often wanting to gain the approval of a lot of people, and I want a lot of people to like me, and I get set in my mind, oh, this person would be great for my program, or this person, we would work well together, or what I offer is wonderful for this person. So I get into this idea and I get fixed on it, and then I get disappointed if it doesn't work out. And again, bringing dragon energy into this, it's a generous, hey, this is something that's good, and I'm not going to chase you down, or I'm not going to belittle myself or my values or who I am, or change who I am or how I present, or try to be who you want me to be in order for you to buy this or to approve of me, but rather I am myself, and if you like it, let's work together. If you resonate, let's work together. And if you don't, that's all right. I hope you find what you're looking for. And this is hard. This is something that's probably the most difficult for me right now in my life, is speaking to my people. But damn, when I do meet my people, I just got a message. I was talking with a hero in the 4-H method, and she was saying how she resonates with my work and my message and how wonderful it is to work together. And I couldn't agree more, because she's my people. And so just like, there's billions of people on this earth I could be with, right? Well, maybe not technically, but theoretically. And I'm with my girlfriend right now. She's my person. And I don't need the other, 8.49999 whatever billion people to like me or approve of me or love me the way that she does. I just want her right now. That's it. And in my work and with the 4-H method, I know that it is for so many people out there, but I don't need to be the one to determine if it's for them or not. That's their decision to make. And my job is to be myself and to be honest, to be clear, and to keep making offers and inviting people in. And the people who are the right fit and who would love it and who love working with me, they will come. And those who are not will leave. And that's often the sad part, the hard part that I have to deal with, is the people who leave or say, no, I'm not into this anymore. And I know that, again, that dragon energy is nothing against you. But as I let go of you, then I make space for things that are more aligned with me and more in line with what I desire. So this year, the year of the dragon, it will come in 2036. And I'm not sure exactly where it will be 12 years from now. That part of me that is very excited about my dreams coming true would like to believe that I'll be where I want, and I'll look back and I'll be so proud of myself and so grateful for myself. And then the other part, the dragon part of me, says, even if that doesn't happen, I love you so much. And you're going to be okay no matter what. And your dreams are beautiful, but they don't make you worthy and they don't make you enough. And your value will not change whether you have those dreams or not. And I love you so much, Michelle. And you are so worthy and so powerful just as you are right now. And that allows me to let go and to open space for what is best for me and what is best for everyone involved. And may it be so. May it be so. Wishing you lots of dragon energy in your life and in your dreams and in your health and in all that you desire. Peace out. Hey, you reached the end of this episode. Thank you so much for your time and energy listening to this. I appreciate it so much. If you would be so kind and generous as to leave a positive review for this podcast, it would mean so much to the growth of this so that more people can benefit from it. And even more, it would mean even more if you shared this personally with someone who you think would be able to benefit from this, who would appreciate and enjoy it. Please do that. Always feel free to reach out to me with questions or comments, michelle@mmelroscoe.com, or you can find me on Instagram at Michelle Lynn Roscoe. Always happy to hear from you. And if you're ready to commit, to take action to making your healthiest life from a place of already enough, join the 4-H method. Make your body your home, your health, your hero journey. The link is in the show notes. Like you, love you, Coach Michelle.